Welcome to the Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today I'm going to eat chicken while watching Kyle go over the David Pakman Wired article, Tyler Cohen article with Taylor Lorenz, where I guess it's Kyle and Krystal interviewing her about this story.
Sounds like your day.
Kyle, you better be good. Pause. Or nail this story. But first, don't forget to share
That sounds
support.
like your day.
Shut up. Not forget to share, support,
Eating chicken.
hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. All of it is very much appreciated. Also, check out the Discord link if you want to show up there and argue with people or watch movies or listen. Stop fucking laughing. Or listen to music or whatever you want to do. There's no... don't be like Dubster and share your gay porn or Edley and show your booby porn. And no graphic violence, you know? Don't do that either. All links, description box. All right. I spent 2 videos asking Kyle, like, yo, when's Kyle going to cover this? And on the channel of, right here, on his own channel, Secular Talk, 3 hours ago. Shout out to Silver, by the way, for posting this in my Discord. Let's see where Kyle goes. Once again, I warn you, I'm eating chicken while I'm watching this. Here we go.
Welcome, Taylor Lorenz. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It is our pleasure.
She's
So,
beautiful.
You released a definitely not at all controversial article on Wired. Nobody's talking about
she
it.
She has a way of staying out of the limelight.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
just her thing.
So, just to give everybody some of the basics, there's this Democratic Creator Incubator program called Chorus. And Brian Tyler Cohen and I believe one other person co-founded it, and it's funded by this liberal dark money group called the 1630 Fund. And I highly recommend you guys go read the entire thing. Taylor, the first thing I want to ask you is, so apparently they can't acknowledge the group. The people in the group can't acknowledge the group. So there's no transparency, there's no disclosure. Some of those creators have come out and they basically said like, well, we can acknowledge the group and we did acknowledge the group. So what is your reaction to those creators saying that?
They're doing this thing that's actually kind of a sleight of hand, sleight of word. Basically, what they're doing is they're acknowledging the public group. So Chorus itself has always been public. I mean, it was quite literally launched with a big New York Times splashy profile. I've written public other stories about Chorus. So Chorus itself was never a secret. And you'll notice these creators being like, I can talk about being in Chorus. Here's the website.
Yes.
Sure you can. What we are saying was not public, and we know is not public because none of them spoke about it before the article, was this specific funding program with, you know, and also the fact that Chorus itself is a project, according to these contracts, of the 1630 Fund. So when they say that it's been public, what they're talking about is just like the public-facing Chorus program and idea, but not the like paid incubator sort of thing that I reported on.
Which was pretty obvious, right? By the way, my chicken, it's too hot. Okay. In the microwave for too long. It's too hot. I will wait. But yes.
Like that's gonna slow you down.
Shut the fuck up. Anyways. But yeah, seriously, but she's right, though. Like, they are, like, it's almost the way, actually, like, ironically enough, the way Israel talks about like, Gaza and Hamas. And they do like weird conflations so that it looks like it's okay, like PR-wise. Like, oh no, we're fucking up Hamas right now. You know, it's not innocent people. It's Hamas was there. They're doing kind of the same thing where I'm like, yo, what about the quote unquote dark money, the secret money that you guys are taking per month to do whatever the fuck? We don't even know what the fuck you're doing, honestly. But like, what about that? Why is that a secret? Oh no, we all heard about Chorus, duh. It's been out there forever. It's like these false conflations, and honestly, like not the real questions being asked. They're not answering the real questions, basically. So, yeah, I agree. It's a bizarre set of excuses.
Well, wouldn't it be?
Oh God.
Wouldn't it be considered like a front business, like a front for like organized crime?
Well, how are you supposed to take it another way? Pause. If they're like openly saying like, yeah, you're supposed to hide this. Like that was the thing that this girl got her hands on, right? And
Right.
if that's the case, it's like you're directing people to hide that they're taking money for whatever. It could be fucking for petting puppies for all I know, but like it almost looks nefarious as soon as you make it secret like that. Right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Chorus is a front for what's actually happening out the other
Probably.
door.
Probably. Honestly, like probably. Right? And if this lady didn't do this story, if Taylor Lorenz didn't do this story, we probably wouldn't hear about it, would we? We would know nothing about it unless someone broke the story about it. Duh.
And she got the information just because somebody equivocally whistle blew.
Essentially, I believe. I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's someone that received this contract, and maybe they signed it, maybe they joined already, who knows? But they're like, yo, Taylor, look at this shit. Because she's a quote-unquote lefty herself, right? So maybe they're like, okay, I can trust her. Let me send her this information anonymously. Or, well, she keeps it anonymous, essentially. But, all right, here we go. Here's more.
What have you broadly made of the reaction? Because quite frankly, I've found it a bit shocking.
It's insane. So what's so wild to me is I didn't even think this story would come to fruition because I worked on it. I mean, I've been working on it for like 2 months, but like I reached out to Chorus with this really detailed, request for comment, and same with 1630. And I assumed that they would just like call up the Washington Post and like give them the story and do an announcement on their own terms and give access to their creators and be like, we're so excited to launch this program, and don't pay attention to that little funding, who's funding us, whatever.
I hope I wasn't muted that
And they
entire
didn't.
time.
And instead,
Sorry,
they went like ballistic, and they're accusing me of being funded by Russia and like have all these conspiracies about my like investigative journalism fellowship. And like, I actually think I was talking to another reporter about this yesterday. It makes it seem like they have even more to hide because their response has been so deranged.
Yeah, probably the most disgusting thing that I saw was from Brian Tyler Cohen, who was like, pulled one clip of Candace Owens being like, well, I respect that she says what she believes or something like that in conversation with Tucker Carlson. They're like, well, she's friends with Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. I thought, and again, I thought it was very revealing because if there was genuinely a problem with your reporting, then you say, okay, well, here's the actual contract. Here's what she got wrong. Yep. Here's how I can prove what she got wrong. And instead it was all of this misdirection of conflating things, of personally attacking you, accusing you of being the one who's really paid. Oh, and you're a secret Trumper, which is just completely ridiculous. There was also a lot of, let me respond to this thing that someone randomly on the internet said, rather than the actual reporting that you engaged in. And so to me, it was very revealing. I don't know how you can call yourself someone who is even left of center and not at least grapple with the ethical and moral questions that are raised by accepting secret, dark super PAC money.
I almost want to leave that to Dubster. Sorry, someone taking secret money to potentially like put forward narratives has nothing to do with left and right. That means your actions are not left or right. They're corruption. That's why you're hiding it, right? If you're actually right and proud of it, or left and proud of it, you wouldn't hide it, right? You'd share it with everyone, essentially, right? So it's nothing to do with right or left at all. Let's just be honest. Also, yes, it was extremely dishonest when this Brian Tyler Cohen guy plays like I kid you not, like 2.5, maybe 3 second clip of Candace Owens saying like, Taylor Lorenz, okay. Like, oh, that's enough to be like, see, look, Candace Owens likes her. That means she's bad. If you fall for that, you're one of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. And you need to realize that. No time for sugarcoating. You are dumb as fucking rocks if that works on you. If you don't investigate things on your own, for yourself, you're a fucking dummy. Sorry. But it needs to be said. But, all right. Let's keep going. Here we go. Krystal pointed out some, legitimate things that are worth pointing out. Here we go.
Well, they don't even want to deal with those questions. Like they just want to sort of sling mud and make these claims. And, you know, something I have said from the jump is if we got something wrong, reach out. Wired has a corrections policy. Like, show us any evidence that what we reported is not fact. It's been over a week. There's not a single correction on the story because none of them have disproved a single thing in our article. They've just been on this other like tour, sort of just throwing everything at the wall to see what would stick. On Threads, you know, one of the creators was literally calling implying that the term dark money is racist. Like that's how.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding. Like that literally. Like,
Hey, listen. As a black man eating chicken right now, dark money is racist. It's a racist term. Why can't it be light money, bro? Come on. It could be light money, you know? Anyways, here we go.
Like it's like parody level. And
that was the other one that got me, is they had to not disclose their secret dark money funding to protect trans creators in red states. I was like,
what?
That was ridiculous.
What are we doing?
But
like David Pakman and Brett, like these are people with like what?
Yeah, make comments for David
in
Pakman.
the reporting, just to lay out for everybody out there. So according to your reporting, there are restrictive clauses in the contract. For example, they have to funnel all bookings with lawmakers and political leaders through Chorus. So it's almost like giving over some semblance of your autonomy and your independence to this group. You can't support or oppose politicians without Chorus's approval, which I thought, when I read that one, I was like, I don't know why more people aren't talking about this particular portion, because that seems crazy to me. To say I mean, that's insane. So why don't you talk a little bit about the restrictive clauses that you came across?
Yeah.
Not a bad question from Kyle, but at the same time, yo, Kyle, you better say names. You better say names. I want to see I'm actually watching this full, like a fucking eagle. Just pinpoint, eye focus, accuracy, bro. I'm keeping my eye on this full, bro. For real. How you moving, Kyle? What's going on? Now people would be like, "Oh, leave Kyle alone," but seriously, it's sorry. No kudos for getting things right, and everything's always up to question. So yes, I am keeping my eye on Mr. Nipple Rings over here. Here we go.
There's a bunch of restricted clauses, like sort of some of what you just mentioned. They sort of narrow some of it by saying like with Chorus funds, right? So like, oh, we don't care if you do things without Chorus funds, but the idea is that this is the funding that you're receiving to like make a living, and you're investing a huge amount of time in this. So like,
exactly.
It's very silly, sort of like these separations that they try to make. You know, they also have restrictions on sort of how you can talk about other people in the program. And this is something that creators in the group chats that we got screen recordings of were also debating. For instance, say one of your, the colleagues in the program or several colleagues in the program push misinformation about a war or something, and you want to speak negatively about that. Like theoretically under this document, it appears that they would not be able to criticize the other members of the program. And you know, there's just a few things like that as well that just, to me as a journalist, like I would never sign an agreement like this, because clearly there is some, you know, you are agreeing to certain terms that I think that you know, anybody who considers themselves like a honest journalist would not do, or at least certainly not do without disclosure.
Yeah. They should never sign that contract. Even if they don't enforce the things that are on the paper there, you should never sign the contract. In fact, in the article you say they didn't let one person's lawyer redline the contract. They basically were like, no, we're not allowing your lawyer to look at it and make adjustments and send it back to us. Basically like, take it or leave it, which is very heavy-handed for this sort of thing. I mean, that's like very authoritarian for these sorts of negotiations, right?
Well, I have spoken to like managers and agents who have had problems with Chorus in the past. And this was in my last story, because I think managers and agents, like their job is to advocate for their talent, right? And to like get the best deal possible. And previously Chorus had used images of content creators without their consent, like just took people's images off social media and put them in their fundraising decks as if those people were like somehow affiliated with Chorus, and then use that to raise money and do the stuff. And so, and then in terms of the negotiating of this deal
Actually
as
creepy.
well, I spoke to a couple managers and agents that were like, yeah, I would never let my client sign something like that because we want to make sure that we have a deal that works for my client specifically.
The other thing that was crazy to me
Wait.
is the top tier
Hit
was
pause.
getting-
Oh my God.
So they had lawyers to overlook any contract they'd sign, and they still signed it. So that means the lawyers are corrupt too.
No, the lawyer's like,
Okay, so we're
how do we make money here?
yeah.
So you can pay me. Not
So
not in the
then
sense of the Democratic Party. They could be full blown Trump supporters for all I know. Right? They're just like, okay, how do I help my client?
It's implying.
Come on, Dubster.
Well, it's implying. It's implying systematic sidedness.
Oh, come on. Lawyers for contracts for their
It
clients.
does.
It's for their clients that like they're in typical social world, bro. They'll do whatever to help their
If they're
client
over,
out, regardless, right? Well, for their own sake, not even just for like
no. What?
they care so much about it.
Hold on. Helping out their client would say avoid doing something that is illegal.
It's not illegal, you fuck. It's wrong by my standards, but it's not illegal.
If
I don't
it's
think.
So it's just ethics.
Whatever word you want to say, bro.
Okay.
For me personally, I'm like, this is wrong. But on the books, I think it's
I'm trying to
legal.
sound out the. I'm just trying to. It depends on who 1630 is, and I guess the lawyers have the plausible deniability. They're not if they don't know who he is. I can't. If I'm
I think they're allowed to remain
an
anonymous.
investigator, right? If I'm an investigator, I can't find something that says the lawyer knew 1630 is blah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
And 1630 is allowed to be anonymous, essentially, right? Which means the legal system
I
is
still
already
would
fucked. It's already fucked, bro.
I wonder if
Seriously.
it's lawyers just putting it together or actually researching it though, like to know what.
Oh, you're auto-tuning, bro.
I guess, yeah. You hear me now?
Yeah, God, give it a try.
Yeah, I don't. I just sounded it out though.
Did he get kicked for it? He might have fully blinked out. Okay. Hey, listen, perfect timing. I finished my chicken. I'm gonna sip some Lipton tea, kick back, and watch this interview. Here we go.
The other thing that was crazy to me is the top tier was getting $8,000 a month. That's a lot of money. Although if you're David Pakman, it's actually not a lot of money. But for most people, it's a lot of money.
Krystal again.
Some of these people are getting $250 a month. Like, and there's a lot of work that's involved. You have to go to a daily messaging check-in and these weekly things, and you got to run this by them, and you can't do that, and you can't do that. What are like? Why are they selling out so cheap? What are they thinking they're getting for this like $250 a month?
There's nobody else offering them anything. That's why. That
Why is Krystal getting hotter by the second?
I think
Why did that
yes,
happen?
and I think it's like the allure of like working with the other big creators, feeling part of this program, getting access. Like you'll see a lot of like I look at this girl.
Forgive me for pausing this here, but yeah, like if you're a dummy that full blown supports the Democratic Party, and you see like, oh my God, David Pakman, or if you're younger and you see some sort of person, some sort of like what's it called, like TikTok influencer, you might be like, oh my God, it's that person, and thus you might take $250 a month. And if you're younger, right, let's say you're staying at home with parents, right, $250 a month is a fucking like, okay, we'll take we'll take that, right? You're not paying rent, you're not whatever the fuck, taxes, whatever the fuck, right? So, yeah, and it actually, damn, is this child abuse? What if someone like that's like 18 or 19 joins this thing, right? And they just get like groomed to start saying certain things. Maybe not directly, Chorus and Brian Tyler Cohen. Like we're not making them say anything. It's like, but you could be influencing, right? You could be nudging because we're human, right? We're not stupid, right? Humans can fall for things even if you don't directly force them, quote unquote, force them to, in the sense of like legalese language. Hopefully that makes sense to people. I'm just saying, like, all right, here we go. By the way, still eagle eyes on nipple rings over here. You can't be quiet during this
Which
segment.
one's nipple rings?
Come on.
The dude.
Look
the
at him.
dude is the nipple rings.
Look at him. Come on.
The dude. Of course, you think the dude has the nipple rings and you want to see him. You're such a fag.
Dubs just had some weird shit earlier tonight, but I'll keep it secret. Don't worry. Anyways, let's continue playing. Here we go.
Of this program, getting access, like you'll
Don't
see
deny
a
Dubster
lot of like
either.
I look
Don't
at this
deny it.
girls. There's one of the girls that
I
has.
I don't
this
even know what you're
pro-Democrat,
referring
like,
to.
You said
DNC
it.
apologia, like American Girl doll meme page, and I'm just like, what would possess someone to run an account like this? Like,
Those words don't even make sense together as like a pairing. I don't know what that means, but go ahead.
she's on the highest tier, to be clear. She's on the highest tier,
Whoa.
okay?
Wow.
Wild. But if you look at the content on her page, it's literally just like her hanging out with Chuck Schumer, in the like in Congress, being like, "Hey, girlies, like I'm here," with like these guys. And so they clearly thrive on like access and is sort of like feeling like they're part of this DC in crowd. And a bunch of these people, that seems to be what they like really live for. And I don't know why else you would sort of
Chicken
sign
down,
some of
dip
these
in. I'm ready to go.
Aside from that, I mean, maybe you want to network, you want to be part of it. Like I did talk to another
V8 runner.
person that didn't take the deal, actually, that got offered that low amount, that was like, I'm not doing it for that, but was considering it because they were like, well, Brian Tyler Cohen's really powerful in the space, and like maybe he'll
No, he's not.
have me on his channel.
He's not very powerful. Did they invest money into him?
She said in this space.
Which is like Democratic Party circles, right? He's not actually like, the dude's a dweeb. Like, listen to him talk. Look at his topics. He's a fucking dweeb. He really is. He's if he misses a hair date, his day's ruined. Like, oh, I didn't get my hair done today. He might crumble on like into planet Earth. Like, seriously. So no, he's not like
Isn't
a
that
real
that group,
factor.
though?
It is that group, but I'm saying like these guys aren't real factors, right? What they're trying to do is like trying to influence young people into falling in line with the Democratic Party, because for so long they've been relying on old people, right? Just like Fox News and CNN's doing with the left, MSNBC's doing with the left, Fox News doing with the right. They've been relying on old people, but the Republican Party got started first on targeting the internet for their side, and they brought this little this little meme guy called Donald Trump. They boosted him up, right, and used the internet to get him elected, essentially. Maybe not Fox News, but I'm saying like the overall thing, the whole MAGA thing, is the internet, boosting him up. But what did he do? He fucking did neocon policies in the guise of being the internet representative, right? That's gonna die soon. It's like people are gonna realize it, hopefully at some point, if they haven't already. And the Democratic Party, the mainstream, neoliberal side of things, is seeing that phenomenon happen, and they're like, "Yo, can we pay some dumb young people to like, like be our own MAGA, right? Damn, people fell for this. We need to do our own version." And these dinosaurs, they look young, but they're actual dinosaurs like David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen are trying to adopt other young people to go like, "Hey, young people, yo, this is where it's at. Look at me. I'm hanging out with Chuck Schumer. Thumbs up, right, dude?" And it's like, excuse me? It's literally the hey there, cool kids fucking meme. Like, literally. And that's what's like, I guess, That's their attempt. It's not going to work. It'll work, but it won't work because they're lucky that Trump's the guy in office while they're massacring Gaza, and you're getting a lot right now. And I beg you, please, young people, like Democratic Party people that watch this video and potentially hear me say this, please pay attention. They're going to use this Gaza thing as a way to round you up to vote for the Democratic Party in the future. You fucking watch. They're trying to hide the fact of what Biden was doing in Gaza. They're trying to hide that. AOC played a decent role in that. Bernie Sanders played a decent role in that. You watch. They're going to try to round you up and get you to join the Democratic Party because Trump's so bad about Gaza, the worst humanitarian crisis on planet Earth. See? Meanwhile, Biden was doing the same shit. The same shit. Please don't fall for it, young people. I beg you not to. But no one's going to hear this, and they're going to do it anyways. I'm going to be sad and disappointed, but not surprised. Fuck. I'm sorry, I'm just letting my emotions fly. I'm crying right now. Here we go.
All right, like maybe that will boost me somehow. Like these big creators.
I'm going to be so surprised when that happens.
And I think
fuck.
Sort of that allure is appealing to certain.
Josh, take care of your generation,
I think
bro.
that's a good point.
Yeah, I think the point that triggered me the most reading your article is somebody says that the goal of Chorus is to, quote, build new infrastructure to fund independent progressive voices online at scale. That word, independent, has been so bastardized, and it makes me absolutely furious. It has to mean something, and if you're taking dark money, if you're taking billionaire money, that's like the opposite of independent. Independent has to mean something, and the fact that even knowing you're reporting, somebody could say that back to you, like, oh no, we're trying to create independent. It's like, what are we doing here? This is so backwards.
I'm not with Kyle until he says David Pakman's name. He has to say his name. Like, listen, I know this guy personally. I defended him in the past, but this is a bridge too far. I'm going to shit on David Pakman. So until that happens, I don't believe Kyle. Yes, that's right. I'm raising the standards. It's not good enough yet. So here we go. Even though Krystal and this girl brought up, Taylor, both brought up David Pakman, Cal did not say a fucking word about it. Here we go.
Yeah, it's. I mean, because it's.
I'll show you at the end of why.
Kind of like a program together, and in my opinion, I mean, I went independent for my fold, and obviously I still write for a lot of mainstream media, but I really wanted to like be able to truly be like independent, supported primarily, like maybe it was like 8 or 9 months ago, whenever I left the Washington Post. I think that disclosure is so key. And if you're going to be independent, and if you're going to sell yourself as independent, you need to be open with your audience and say, listen, like I am 95% supported by you. Like maybe I agreed to this program, but here's why. And, here's the full, I'm not under any editorial control. And here's like the full information about it, and be open with your audience. I think
that's just blatantly that's blatant, right? Of like, hey,
who
guys,
would pay for that though?
Well, that's the thing, right? That's the idea. Like,
they
wouldn't get paid if you did that. Like I say this openly. I say this very openly. Yo, Pepsi, you want to pay me? I mean, well, I won't sign a contract unless I can shit on you, call you out for anything you do, go over your history and problems you did there. But if you want to pay me, go ahead, pay me. But they won't, right? They obviously wouldn't do that. So, yeah, you're right in that regard. But at the same time, it's like, if you're claiming to be some sort of have a moral, you're above them, the Republican Party, morally, right? That's what they talk about Trump all day and night, right? It means they're trying to say that they're morally better. Show it. Prove it.
You've heard that joke by Dave Chappelle, right? I got it. I did commercials for Pepsi and Coke.
Whoever paid me the most tastes better.
Whoever paid me the most recent.
Meanwhile, he drinks neither one of them. In his real life, he drinks neither one of them. How about those guys going to Saudi Arabia? That's people have some questions about that.
I forgot the full joke, but
I think it was whoever paid me the most. Like that's the one that tastes better. Duh. Yeah. Which is funny, but David Pakman was transparent from the beginning. even the Brian Tyler Cohen guy, which I know very little, like I've seen a couple of his pages, a little bit of his words. I'm like, this guy's full of shit. It didn't take long for me to figure that one out. But it's so funny that these guys, like the clean face, little dweeby, little looking dudes, somehow always get to these positions of power in a way, and they get boosted by the Democratic, by any party, right? They get boosted, and then they take dark money and fucking hide it, or dish out dark money and fucking hide it. It's just weird. It's very weird, and that should be like an obvious IQ test. But guess what? I almost guarantee there's some like actual like young people, forget about the older people, young people that are actually like, well, Trump's doing it, so why can't we do it? And it's like, oh my God, guys, you're supposed to be better. There's no reason to hide this money unless you're doing something possibly nefarious, right? There's no real reason to actually hide this. Just say it. It's still weird. It's still sus. And I think they know that's why they're hiding it in the first place, but it would look definitely less sus if you just told everyone about it. But they know the world's stupid, and they're trying to abuse it. They're abusing everyone. Duh. They know they'll get someone, and by someone, I mean a legitimate amount of people. And I'm like, I look around, I'm like, yo, guys, isn't that the problem right there? That 20,000, 40,000, 100,000, a million fell for this shit. Isn't that the cause of the problems in the first place, you idiots? Duh. That's where the real fucking problem is. What's this word? These words I heard from Michael Tessarian. Not saying I endorse everything the guy said, but this idea is actually on point to me. Which is, hey, if you leave rotten meat out on the fucking counter, guess what? Flies and then maggots happen. Do we blame the flies and the maggots because you left rotten fucking meat on the counter? No. They're just being flies and maggots, you dummies. I'm not calling people flies and maggots. And also, no offense to flies and maggots. Just a metaphor. Did you... Hold on. Did someone sell you an idea? Or did you buy an idea? You fucking dimwits. Duh. But no one wants to do that because no one's like, no, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I swear to God. And then Jesus shows up. And it's like, are you a good person? Like, oh, fuck. Run. Kill him. Get him out of here. There's like standards for things. That's all I'm saying. And yes, whether you're 20 or you're fucking, 90 years old, it's still up to you because even in your best case scenario, it would be up to you as a person. You almost demand that. Maybe it's more so subconsciously, but you still demand that idea of like, yeah, I want to be able to make choices for me. I don't want to be tricked. Thus, so then own that. Do that. Don't be tricked. Own it like it's yours. When someone says an idea out loud, own it like it's your idea. And really break it apart and put it back together the way you want to. Seriously do that. But then again, I'm waiting for aliens or Jesus. Here we go.
Problem here is this is like this sort of backroom deals. And then they're presenting themselves online as, we're just normal independent creators.
Yeah, to me that's what it comes down to as well.
Still on independent.
The transparency piece.
Idea broke from years ago.
This show that Kyle and I do is as pure as it possible. It's completely reader supported. Kyle and I both in our separate shows
money, guys.
Policy will never talk to an advertiser. We're not doing the Hims ads or Casper mattresses or whatever.
It's not about money, guys.
Fleshlights
What makes you independent is that you're you.
I see Sam Cedar out there selling a bidet. We're gonna not do, but
independence is more than just if you take money or not. It's a state of being. It's a way of living life, right, guys? But I digress. Here we go.
I also
shut up, Jordan. I know.
For the work that you do, your work is very expensive. It takes time. You have to go and do the investigative journalism. You're not going to be churning out a daily take the way that I can just sit in front of a camera and be like, here's what I think about X, Y, or Z. So
That's what I do too.
I understand why people make somewhat different choices in terms of the financing of what they're doing than I've made. But to me, the key is like, you at the very least have to be transparent about that. And I wonder how you think about it because, you know, obviously you were at the Washington Post. I was once upon a time at MSNBC. So we've seen the inside of how these things work at mainstream institutions. And for all of our critiques of legacy media, there is a firewall between the people who are selling ads and the journalists who are doing the, you know, the reporting or the anchors who are live on air. Like when I was at MSNBC, I had nothing to do with the ad department, the sales department. I had no idea what ads were playing during the commercial break.
And Krystal, if you looked back, you'd be like, damn, this shit was happening behind my back, right? And then how do you assess yourself from back then? That's where I'm trying to lean towards. But all right, here we go.
Part of my fear with the shift away from mainstream sources and towards
did you get played,
independent
or did you play yourself, Krystal?
Personalities and
question.
Creators and journalists is that
Right.
you're actually getting an even more sort of like directly corrupt relationship.
Please go ahead. I'll rewind her whole Krystal part because people complain when we talk over things. But go ahead.
All these people that are covering this story.
Sure.
How do I know they're not also doing the same thing with a different group?
That is a very worthy question. They should be asking that of me, of you, of everyone in the Discord, of the people on screen. There's no saviors here. Everyone is up to questions, right? That's the way things should be, I think. But yes, use your intuition, right? If you think someone's like full of shit, or if you think they're legit, you can carry that with you, but also leave room for the possibility that like they might be full of shit one day, or they might be legit one day. Like leave room for them as you know, an autonomous human being. Like, oh, you're an individual with your own life and your own story and all that shit. And maybe one day it comes out that you took money from here, or it comes out that you never took money and you're always being honest the whole time. Whatever. Like, leave room for all of it. We have no time for this bullshit to be like praising or whatever the fuck that we do with politics. There's no time for shit like that because I look at Gaza once again. I look at Gaza and I'm like, well, that didn't just start yesterday or 10 days from in the past or a year in the past. It started from decades and decades of maneuvering and political maneuvering and people that were selling those political maneuverings year after year after year. And it's like, it didn't just pop up out of nowhere, guys. These things are not isolated incidences, bro. They're connected to things. There's breadcrumbs for it. And that's why like everyone's up for sale essentially. Like, hey, you may be full of shit. I need to consider that. It has to be considered in this realm. You still love them as human beings, which is what I try to do. Like, oh, I have love for anyone as a human being, but you have to consider the idea that they might do something fucked up, too, for whatever reason. Maybe it's pathology, maybe it's revenge. Who knows? Whatever the reason is, that can happen too. It's like that needs to be considered at all moments and times in regards to this stuff. If it's basketball, it's like, oh, I love the way this guy shoots basketballs, right? I love his crossover and his fucking 3-point shot. That's different. In this realm, you really need to like actually like consider someone could be full of shit no matter what the fuck they say to you. They read your comment out loud, if they fucking give you a handshake, whatever. Sorry, Dubster, go ahead.
Right. With some of these agendas that last generations, not just
yes.
Like some of this, like you brought up Gaza, and I was like, well, to me, that was planned out more than 150 years ago.
Well,
maybe not.
That's a long time.
Direct details.
150. Jesus Christ.
Right. I mean, if you talk about Zionism, it dates back to like the 1880s, 1870s.
I can't say I know, but I leave room for the possibility for sure.
Well, they didn't decide it was going to be Palestine at the time. They were just like, we're going to have to do this somewhere. And then they settled on the Holy Land.
Yeah. mean, they call it Judea and
So-
Samaria for a reason, right? Gaza and the West Bank, the settlers call it Judea and Samaria for a reason, which is like ancient, like names for territories. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so like, but around the 1910s, they were thinking of 4 different places, but they were still thinking of the same idea. These guys have to go get out of Europe, and they need a place they can be. And if that means we're going to have to shuffle other people around, then that's what we're going to do. And then they they happen to choose the place to be, the Palestine.
Yes, and well, as far as my understanding goes, they also promised Arabs kind of like a holy land too, but those guys got the shaft. They got screwed in regards to that.
Well, yeah, the Lawrence of Arabia story. There was another tribe that actually assisted Lawrence of Arabia, side of World War One, and then Saudi Arabia by 1926 got to take over the territory they were promised. I forget
Yeah.
the name of the group. It starts with an H. It was a tribe in the area that Saudi Arabia is today.
Okay, I almost said Hermetic, but that's not the case. That's like Egyptian almost. That's
I
Greece, Egypt
couldn't-
area. Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even remember how to pronounce this, but I do remember reading about this.
Either way, it's like this is not
Which
the,
is Mecca. Mecca
yes.
is what's in Saudi Arabia.
Yes. Now, to go back to this, with the personality, like you can like someone's personality. Why not do that? But you don't have to accept everything they say because you like their personality. I'm seeing a lot of that with Nick Fuentes, by the way. Where it's like, oh my god, he talks so cleanly and smoothly. It's like you can like that idea of someone being able to talk smoothly and clearly, but whether or not you like their ideas or not, like that's a whole different thing. And there's no room. Like you have to ask questions about these things. You should leave no room for fucking doubt. Period. In regards to shit like this, because we've seen it. There's people that were a certain way one way. Let's say Ben Shapiro, right? Like this is not even going back that far, right? Ben Shapiro, 2014, 15, 16, right? And he's doing facts over feelings, right? But now the guy's selling you a war. And people that bought into the whole facts over feelings thing back then are now, not all of them, but enough of them are buying into, yeah, we should bomb Gaza, bomb it to fucking smithereens. Because they followed Ben Shapiro for a totally different reason. And it's like you have to be asking questions as you're watching these things straight up. Straight up. There's no room for fandom. There's no room for fucking team playing. Period. Because it leads to horrendous shit. We saw the whole Trump phenomenon. We saw the whole Obama phenomenon of just like, oh, we trust this holier than thou fucking leader. And they lead us right to the fucking gutter. They'll be rich. They'll be fine. Their teammates will be fine. The other businessmen around them will be fine. But you're fucked. When the housing bubble crashes, they'll boost up the fucking banks, not you. When shit goes down over here, they will, like with jobs losses and all that shit, right? Under the Biden administration, and Trump comes in to save it. Who's he help first? It's the guy sitting to his left and right. It's Bill Gates. It's Zuckerberg. Those guys get help first. Seemingly. If you're just like drooling along without any fucking critical thinking skills during all of that, you're going to get fucked. They're going to fuck you. Duh. It's kind of patently obvious, too. So it's like, once again, I hope Taylor means well. I hope Krystal means well. And I hope Kyle means well. But at the same time, there should be room to ask them questions in case they might not be meaning well. I'm just saying, like, that should be worthy. And the same goes with, obviously, with David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen. And anyone in chorus or whatever the fuck. But, yeah, go ahead.
Well, what you just said there was, you got 2 options. You can create this whole something systematic that the government could use against us. Like you
I
be
said
the
that.
CEO of something like Palantir, where it's like completely Big Brother. Then the government will help you, or you can work for something like Palantir, and then the government will help you.
Well, if you're a low-level worker, the government might help you, but like 20 years from now, because it might trickle down to you
Well, I
someday.
mean, they'll help you more than someone that's not in a systematic uh, destroy the world kind of job.
Sure. But it can play a role.
There's
in
a little
regards
bit
to
more. Yeah, unless you can figure out how to make the coffee systematically destroy everybody at a coffee shop or something.
There's, I call it a TikTok of life. Not TikTok, the app, but like one thing leading to the other. For sure, you can get fucked without you even like realizing it. So, but all right, let's get back to the video. Sorry for ranting, but like I'm trying to take care of the ideas in front of me. That's all I'm doing, guys. Forgive me. Here we go.
Ad department, the sales department. I had no idea what ads were playing during the commercial break. And part of my fear
I should
with
have
the
asked, right?
shift away from mainstream sources
know
and
now,
towards
Krystal.
independent personalities and creators and journalists is that you're actually getting an even more sort of like directly corrupt relationship in many instances.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I think about a lot because, well, I have one brand deal with Delete Me, which is a product I've used for literally, I think, half my life because I've been doxxed so many times. But you know, it's really hard. Like, first of all, not only do a lot of no brands want to sponsor like investigative journalists and people constantly ensnared in controversy,
enough, okay.
not in
I get it.
a positive
I
way.
get it, though.
But it's also like there's so much that I've turned down, so many opportunities that I've turned down because I think it would just be unethical of me as a journalist, and I feel like it would put me in a weird space. I write a lot about privacy, for instance, and you know, civil liberties online, and there's a lot of products that harvest data or do weird things, and I just think it's like a really this problem that I don't think that. I think people just watch YouTubers and they think everyone operates like as YouTubers and they don't understand that actually it's really hard for journalists. Like I was talking to a content creator yesterday who didn't realize that like journalists at mainstream institutions like couldn't make outside income. They were like, well, what about all this? And I'm like, no, like you can't do any of that. That's the whole thing is you work there and you sign these agreements and it's kind of liberating. It's you don't have to worry about that. You're getting a salary from a media org.
Yeah, it sounds like UFC fighters.
Kind of liberating. It's kind of liberating to be stuck in the cage.
It's UFC fighters, right? They can only wear like Adidas or something, or whatever the fuck they got, right? Whatever company they're signed with, versus like having like outside sponsors. Like they actually contractually cannot have outside advertisements or whatever. Well, on their like when they're fighting, right? They can't be like wearing certain logos. They have to wear like whatever it is, Adidas or something like that, or whatever their fucking
Or
deal
the
is.
knockout. I always see the knockout shirts.
No, you can't do that anymore. That's back in the day.
Oh, that's outlawed now?
You can't wear anything
thought that
except
was
for what is UFC.
UFC.
No.
What was knockout then?
Knockout, it's not UFC, I'm pretty sure. Or like,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And like,
I thought
like
that was the brand
Hayabusa
for
was a brand.
fighters.
You can
I
do
thought
like
knockout was what
dude.
there was groups. There
Okay.
was groups of fighters and wearing knockout.
Maybe it was a UFC T-shirt that you're talking about, or something like that, versus like an actual brand called Knockout. But
like when one fighter wore it, there was 4 other fighters like in his corner, and they would all wear knockout.
I'm telling you, right now they can only wear UFC sponsored companies, meaning like.
Are you talking about TNA? TNA Knockout?
Maybe, I don't know. I just
I don't know
remember
either.
saying knockout.
But like, let's say John Jones is getting like a Gatorade deal, right? He can't drink Gatorade in the ring. he has to drink like Monster or something like that, right? An actual ad contractually doing a deal with
okay.
the UFC, right? He has to drink like a Monster,
All right.
hold like a Monster can or a Monster bottle or something like that, right? I think it's Reebok actually. I think it's Reebok is the actual thing for UFC people, not Adidas.
Bro, that's what causes fights, wearing Reeboks in public.
Reeboks, come on. 90s
I
that
know,
shit.
that's what I'm saying.
But
It's
whatever.
like,
Either
let's make
way,
it.
I get her point. That makes sense. I
They
get your
sell
point.
Reeboks in Walmart, bro.
Well, sometimes you just spend your money at UFC. Like, hey, hopefully this works out for us. Because when someone buys
Right
a
next to
T-shirt, it has a Reebok logo on it, right? If they buy like a
you,
Conor McGregor T-shirt or something.
no, that's they sell the Reebok shoes now at Walmart, and right next to the New Balances.
But when they enter the fucking ring, they have to wear certain brands. But either way, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
I get her point though.
So I was, of course, not approached by these people, probably because every day on my show I talk about how I've never talked to an advertiser, never talked to a billionaire, never done an ad read, never talked to a PAC, never talked to a government. Like, I go through this whole spiel of, like, I try to fund this as pure as I possibly can. So it would make sense why they wouldn't reach out to me.
And
we
you talk about Gaza all the time.
Well, hold on. Well,
Yeah.
I was about to say that. That's what I was about to say. Like, no, Kyle, it's more of your stated policies that they can't make kosher for the rest of the Democratic Party brand. They can't do that. But Krystal beat me to it. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Let me get to my question
Yeah,
here,
okay.
because it's not just me, though. I'm pretty sure they didn't reach out to Mike Figueredo of the Humanist Report. I'm pretty sure they didn't reach out
Mike
to
Figueredo.
David Dole. When you look at the size of my channel, the size of their channel,
Rational
Hassan
Nationalist.
Piker's another example, streaming on Twitch, probably the biggest political live streamer in this space. They didn't reach out to him. So, kind of weird, isn't it? That you're doing this democratic thing, left-wing liberal thing in theory, and it's like, we got to try to, get the message out there, spread the good word. But some of the biggest left-leaning creators, who everybody I just mentioned supports the Democrats over the Republicans. We have criticisms of the Democrats, but if you give me a Democrat versus the fascist in the White House now, 10 out of 10 times I'm going to pick the Democrat. But why is it that they didn't reach out to any of those people? Is it because they know that it's a shady funding model and we might have ethical issues with it? Or is it because they know we don't comply with their policy platform perfectly? Which we'll get to a separate question on the policy platform in a second. But why do you think it is that people like us never got an email, never got a text message, never got a phone call when we're some of the bigger creators on the left in this space?
They can't. They can't.
I once again reiterate. You're more of like the he's more along the lines of the progressive side of the Democrats, right? Is that fair to say?
Stereotypically, yes. Yeah, I would define it that
Okay,
way,
so
yeah.
why isn't there a progressive side of this backdoor stuff going on? Maybe there is.
Maybe no, that's a worthy question. Do I know if there is? No. Am I leaning towards that? Not necessarily, but is it possible? Sure.
Right.
And you look at it, once again, someone
But that's
called me.
just pointing fingers. That's just pointing fingers. I get it. There's no basis to what I'm saying that I know of. It's just like, it's the mirror. Everything you say today, maybe in 6 months or maybe 5 years, we might find out something you did in current times.
Yeah.
That comes up later.
True. That's why the question needs to be like, not incessantly as, but you know what I mean? Like, the question is always there. Even if you're like just listening to Kyle or me or you or anyone else, the question should be there. So like, if you see something like weird to you or sus, you should ask the question straight up, because there's no there's no time, there's no room in this shit in the world of politics for leniency in regards to anything. Honestly, the question should be fucking asked straight up. They should be. But I was gonna say, like, someone called me a Bernie supporter because I pointed out, like, this is what I believe Kyle thinks about when he's talking about politics, or someone like Kyle talks about. And like, I called a Bernie supporter for saying, like, well, this is why these, like, kind of pointing out why these guys believe what they believe and why they see
Right.
certain policy done a certain way and they like it that way. Now, they could be full of shit. I leave room for that question and that discussion. But I don't know, me reiterating what I think these guys believe is not me
Hold on.
endorsing what they believe.
Let me ask this. Could a politician select someone in some form of news, don't even break it down to mainstream and alternative, just anyone, someone a politician likes, says, I'm going to sponsor you and you're going to start talking a certain way that I want you to. And isn't that the same basis of this, what these guys are caught with, just a
Yeah.
bigger idea of maybe
Well,
it's more than one politician that's in the 1630 group? It's like a group of politicians could possibly be behind the 1630.
well, here's the least worrying case scenario, which is still a worrying case to me, but let's say it's like, oh, these particular politicians take you out to lunch every day, right? And they treat you like really, really nice, right? They give you presents, they give you whatever the fuck, like Christmas time, they send Christmas cards with, with money in it, or maybe no money, just a nice message, whatever the fuck, right? They're just really, really nice to you. And then you hear on the news that one of those politicians, like, oh, breaking news on CNN. Oh, Bob is taking, this money from the medical insurance companies, X, Y, or Z, and and he's like we caught him on tape, like he was being secretive about it, he's hiding it, and we caught him. And maybe because the guy was just being nice to you, maybe you're like, oh, well, no, Bob's a nice guy. He's really nice. It's Bob, though. There has to be some sort of explanation for it, kind of like what Alex Jones does for Trump, right? In a way,
Right.
thus
Just the other side.
But it's not necessarily. It doesn't have to be the most creepy, corrupt thing ever, right? It could be something as simple as that, as in like they treated you nice, so thus when something happens about them, maybe you defend them, or if they have a policy that maybe your fans don't like, but you're like, no, I know this guy. He's a good guy. He's a good person. Right?
Well,
that's me in
for
the nicest case scenario. Right?
We can bend for this budget bill so that we get 3 things out of 400 that we want.
Well, they might make that argument, even though it could be bullshit. Kind of like what Timmy Pool does, right?
No, I'm saying
good.
Alex Jones got on TV on a show and was like, the budget bill's good. We got 3 things out of 400 that we like. Well, but that was placating to the fact that Trump liked the bill.
Yes, but Alex Jones is like a different case. I'm just saying, like, the way they might argue things is where they maybe make them look like a victim, or make them look innocent, or make them look like they're trying to do the right thing, but they're too busy. They missed the mark on this one, or whatever the fuck, right? And you can do that with your audience because maybe the guy, treated you to coffee every so often, or maybe paid your electric bill one night or 1 week, or 1 month or something like that, right? Or they send you a Christmas card when your mom was sick and like looked after your mom and helped you out and recommended doctors for them and all that stuff. And thus, you might behave a certain way because of that, right? That's what I'm saying. Or like that's the most that's the most innocent version I can think of in regards to this scenario with the Wired article and the whole chorus and 1630 group and all that shit, right? That could be the most innocent version, but that's still. Maybe they're an innocent, but they're being manipulated by someone else who isn't an innocent. Maybe they're doing that for the sake of getting them to behave a certain way, right?
Yeah.
And that's worthy of questions and being brought up. Like 100%. Guess what? Once again, I'm still waiting for Kyle to bring up David Pakman in particular because I went through some of his past videos where I look up David Pakman in his video catalog, and it's nothing but protection and kind of glowing things or nice things about him. Right?
Oh, from Kyle?
Yes, from Secular Talk, his channel, right? And it's like, hey, maybe David was nice to you, or David defended you at some point, or something like where it's like, now maybe Kyle's running protection, possibly for someone like David Packman, because of past events of experience with the guy. Not saying that's the case, Kyle fans. Not saying that's the case. I'm laying out possibilities because you have to go over possibilities for the sake of trying to get the right answer, right? Because I'm not connected to I don't know these people. I don't know them. We have to ask questions. Is that okay, Kyle fans? Right? That should be okay to do. That seems
And
worthy.
that's part of the problem. This, for a long time, I don't think more than our lifetimes actually. They don't report the news; they make the news. Whoever they is.
Well, it depends on what you mean by depends on what you mean by they and news and all that
But
stuff. It depends on
as
what you
in,
mean by that.
there's a lot of deals that happen behind news, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
all kind of imagine it. If we can't actually put our finger on it, we all imagine it. Like
Oh, yeah.
they've made TV shows. What was that show with the guy from Dumb and Dumber?
Jeff Daniels,
Yeah, that
the HBO show,
news show.
The Newsroom.
It was all about how it works, and like it breaks it down like what you got to do to fucking be in the news business.
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't dig into that show too much, but I can kind of imagine what you
networking.
mean. Yeah, I can imagine what you mean.
It's the idea of networking. Like, oh, come on, man. I know you're a politician, and I need you on my show. I'm not doing it. I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not fucking doing it. Okay, I'll go. I'll buy you a fucking present.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it now.
I'll be honest, like,
And that's a simplistic way of looking at it.
from personal experience, where it wasn't like Fox News or CNN, but it's like, no offense, this is not me throwing Franco under the bus or anything like that. Frank Analysis YouTube channel. It wasn't like he was like coming to me like in a nefarious way. It seemed like oh, hey, we all kind of align on these things. Let's make a group together and do like scheduled videos every so often and all that shit. I'm like, I was personally like, nah, I'm not doing that. But the idea is that like, yeah, there can be collaborations behind the scenes that no one ever hears about. That was my personal experience of something. I'm not saying it was nefarious at all. I don't think that was his intention from what I got from that. It's more like a collab thing. And guess what? That can happen with other people, and maybe one of them is George H.W. Bush, or George W. Bush, or Barack Obama, or Donald Trump, just hanging out in the fucking like, maybe let's say it's 5 people, and 4 of them are like, yeah, let's team up because we want to coalesce and make a fucking group to save whatever party we're trying to save, right? But there could be one person in there that's there to like essentially subvert and get their own means. Maybe it's greed. Maybe they're paid by someone. Whatever the case may be, they have some sort of pathology running, and they can actually, with their own voice or whatever, shift the group in a direction. And I look at Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. I look at you, and you see TYT. You see David Packman. You see Rational National. David Dole. You see these like type of names, right? And it's like, huh? Was there someone pissing in the punch bowl the whole time? But you thought you were coalescing to make a group about the left wing and the progressive movement. Meanwhile, someone might have been shitting in the punch bowl the whole time. Maybe Kyle's a victim of that. Maybe he's a perpetrator. Maybe none of that's happening. I'll leave room for that. Maybe none of that's happening. But some of these guys I've covered before, and I'm just like, ugh. Especially Pac-Man. Oh, God. But all right, let's get back to the video. I'm sure people are tired of us pontificating and saying things that may have some importance.
Register.
Well,
yeah, register.
Well, let's be real. I don't have 1 million subs, so until you have that like certain numbers, sometimes people just don't even care initially, right? Because you're not on Apple TV or something like that, right? Just like a TV show.
Oh, okay. So we should change to fit the majority.
Well, we're just guys talking shit. I'll leave it there. But all right, here we go.
This is a question that I put to both Chorus and the 1630 Fund. And I asked, like, what is your criteria, or like, can you disclose any information about this program? Because I think this is, again, why we need transparency. We have no idea why they selected the creators that they do. I think all we can do is look at the creators that have been made public and look at sort of commonalities between them and make our best guess. Because they have not been transparent since either.
Establishment Democrats.
Release the full roster of content creators. There are content creators out there that are part of this program that have not, that were not named in the article that we couldn't confirm, but that are taking this money, right? And so I think it's just really bad for this space. And I think it's just, it shows, it shows some sort of editorial discretion on who they're partnering with, right? But we just don't have any idea of what qualifications they had. And I think, and also what influence, an organization, like what influence, for instance, did the 1630 Fund, this is something I asked, like have any influence on what creators were chosen? Like these are all questions that we would love answered, and we have gotten zero transparency.
And Taylor, they allude to a policy platform at a certain point in the contract. And we know that because somebody tried to debunk what you were saying, but they showed some of the contract and actually validated what you were saying. And the fact that there's a policy platform, that's something that they have not really engaged with at all, because what that says is there are certain things that we believe in and certain things we don't believe in. And we can make inferences based on who's in the platform or who's with the group and who's not with the group. And so, for example, Krystal,
and also their reactions to it, right? That should also tell you something, right, Kyle? Which I assume he's like kind of inferring with all this, but here we go.
Brought up Gaza, and it's like, I don't know, when you go through, and some of those creators I genuinely like. I've been on Brian Tyler Cohen's show. I like his show. I think a lot of the time his messaging is genuinely good. I think his Twitter feed is good, but he's notably absent, largely talking about Gaza. He either doesn't talk about it, or every now and then maybe there's like a token mention of it, but like that seems like an inference we can make. And until they would need to release that policy platform and show us what's in it in order for us to know, hey, how are you picking people, and like what are the standards that you're picking people by,
Let's say you get that and they're like, well, our platform is based on hugs and love. Nothing but hugs and love. Does that mean you turn your brain off to what's being shown in front? Like you just said, the guy doesn't cover Gaza at all. But he's talking about Trump every day. Right, Kyle? Now, forgive me, Kyle fans, but I'm going to ask these questions like this. I'm sorry, but like the idea of like, well, maybe Brian Tyler Cohen serves a purpose for Kyle. Maybe. Where it's like, yeah, he's going after Trump every fucking day. Midas Touch, that guy, Pac-Man, they go after Trump all the fucking time, right? And it serves the purpose of, we need the Democrats to win because they're better than, the MAGA people, the Republican Party. So thus you kind of maybe keep your mouth shut about how dog shit their content is for the sake of winning in the next election or the midterms or whatever the fuck. I have to ask those questions, Kyle. Sorry.
Or he doesn't think it's dog shit.
Or that. Which would be pretty scary. Not in the sense of shitting on Trump. Like, I shit on Trump all the time, right? That's not scary to me. That's not a bad thing to do to me. It's more of the idea that, like, yo, like on a moral level, what's the most horrendous thing that Trump is a part of right now? Let's say you don't like Trump. What's the worst thing he's fucking a part of right now? Let's be honest. It's the massacring of civilians that he's still shoveling money to the people that are doing it. And giving and running cover for them too, but yet you're not covering that. Hold on. You're not covering that fucking topic, Kyle. That's a red flag to me, man. If they're shitting on Trump all over the place, everything he does, they're shitting on, except for that thing. The thing that, like, for most people, is like the worst thing that he's doing right now. That's the thing that he's ignoring. Isn't that a fucking red flag, Kyle? That's a problem, right, dude? Like, from like person to person, that's a fucking problem, right, Kyle? Like, come on, man. I like what some of the things he does, like, but if he's missing out on the most blatant crime happening in our fucking, not just this year, or the last 2 years or 3 years, but I think maybe in our lifetimes, as far as like blatancy of the crime, and Trump is all up and down involved in that, and these guys aren't talking about that. What the fuck, dude? That's a major red flag to me.
I gotta say,
Fuck.
the worst thing Trump's involved in is supporting Lindsey Graham.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Supporting
Because,
Lindsey Graham,
that could
support
be-
Israel. Got it. It's the same.
Well,
Goes back
I
to the
mean,
same problem.
right. I just think he is John McCain's replacement, so it
Yeah.
could be his fault. Gaza happened.
Let's not go there. I know you're trolling. Let's not go there. Although Lindsey Graham is a fucking devil worshiper, if I've ever seen one before in my life. He's definitely that guy, that type of guy. But still, it's like the thing that's actually wrecking Trump is the Gaza thing. It really is wrecking it. Well, Epstein too, right? Epstein and Gaza, for sure. For most
Iran.
Americans, especially younger Americans, if you're making a program to let's appeal to young people, that is the topic, especially in the Democratic Party. Republicans too are also on those topics as well. But as far as polls and fucking stats go, Democratic Party, as far as like young people, like under 34 years old, 100%. Like that is the topic. That is the topic. It's not a topic. It's the topic. It's just not even close either. It's not even close. And if you're not covering that, it's like, huh? Why not? Then you hear other articles where these fools got invited to the White House in order to be told not to cover those topics because it's quote unquote controversial. Like, hello, Kyle. Fucking ring, like bells going off, my man. Holy shit. Okay. I'm sure. By the way, I'm very sure that Kyle fans will shit on me for saying this. They'll shit on me for saying this. I should tell you all you need to fucking hear, honestly. Also, I want to hear I want to hear Kyle bring up David Pakman too, by the way. But here we go.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing that I was hoping that this article could bring, right? Like, ideally, they would have answered those questions prior to publication. And at the very least, when the story came out, just been like, hey, we want to clear some things up. We've seen a lot of misconceptions. Here's our policy platform. Here's how we chose these creators. Here's this process. And by the way, like, that would have been great. Like, that would have been more transparency in the space. Instead, they reacted the opposite way, and they've gaslit and attacked people and made all these personal attacks against me. It's the opposite of transparency. And I think it sets a terrible precedent for just broader Democrat behavior in this space.
Yeah. The other thing I think is...
Terrible example. Come on, Taylor. Call it corruption. They're being full of shit. Call it that. A terrible example. They're being full of shit. Call it that. I'm sorry, dude. She could be a nice lady for all. I don't know her too well. I'll be honest. But it's like, call it what it is. Like, it's blatant, full of shitness. Blatantly. Come on, dude. Why are we doing this little dance for? Is it for, like, lawsuits, maybe? Maybe that's the case. Maybe it's to come off as composed, but, like, guess what? This shit makes me angry. I don't want to go sip coffee when I'm done with this shit. I want to fucking punch someone when I'm done with this shit.
Bro, do you not know who Taylor Lorenz is?
No, I don't.
That lady on the street.
Yeah, the hot chick right here. That's Taylor Lorenz.
Yeah,
right there.
she's pretty. But dude, she is a pathological fucking liar.
I don't know.
She is a total fucking scumbag. But we can save that for another discussion.
Do you think she's
Homer
credible
Simpson.
in this topic?
Burps on Mike.
She is full of shit. Completely and entirely.
I heard Seb's bring her up as like, oh, she's like a lefty. She wore a mask forever, but she has maybe some sort of immune disease or something like that. I don't fucking know. I don't know anything about her really. I don't know. I don't know enough personally.
She is a gaslighting cunt. That's all I've seen of her.
Goddamn.
So
I don't know.
Yeah.
So are you telling me you're team David Pakman?
No.
Okay.
It's the sorry, he's still trying to work out the Trump brainworms out of his head. Oh, CNN likes you. you're bad. If CNN hates you, you're good. He's still trying to work the brainworms out. Fuck. But yeah, I don't know this person. She could be full of shit for all I know. All I
He's
know
full
is
of shit.
I'm watching people behave to what she's apparently reported. I'm watching them behave around it, and that's what I'm calling out. And that
Sure.
that goes nowhere. I'm sorry. That is not going anywhere for my questions about these people. But she could be full of shit too. Thus, yeah. If I see, if the questions are there, you bet your ass I will dig right fucking into it. 100%.
In my opinion, you cannot get any more full of shit than Taylor Lorenz.
Well, then that brings
Fair
in
enough.
question a lot of things. Did she leave enough out of this story to where there was an escape route for people like David Pakman to talk openly about partial shit like he did?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think they smell like they're in different factions or whatever the fuck might be the word. I don't know. But I can't say I know. It's all questions are worthy right now. So yeah, that should be considered as well, personally. But yeah. When I hear these things, the way they're reacting, the story itself, then the way they react to it, I'm like, why can't we just call that full? Like, yeah, they're full of shit. Why can't we do that? What are these fucking pleasantries? If it was my best friend, I'd be like, hey man, are you being full of shit right now? To my best friend, I would do that.
At the end of the,
AKA Emily
day,
Hansford metric.
these guys unite when they vote on at least we're gonna vote down ballot Democrat,
I
even
don't know.
if it's not the
Well,
Democrats I like. It's a Democrat, not a Republican.
Only person I have for like would in their own words with that is Kyle. The other guys, I don't know. I don't even know about Krystal. I could believe that if someone told me that, but yeah, I could believe that. Or this lady, based on the things
that's
I've
what I'm
heard,
offering off
I
of.
believe that.
Democrats are better just because they're Democrats, so they're better. That was Kyle.
Well, I have other examples of Kyle. That's why I truly believe that. It's not even just this interview for me. And he said it anyways, right? He said it anyways.
A month ago. Yeah, he said that a month ago.
Yeah. And the whole Kamala, Democrats better than Republicans. Yeah, all that bullshit. But all right, here we go. Once again, I don't know the person. I'm just hearing what she said. That is worthy of question to me. Of like, yo, why can't we just call that corruption? Why can't we do that? Is that a bad thing? Like, but anyways, all right, here we go.
For just broader Democrat behavior in this space.
Yeah. The other thing I think is, even if you have no ethical qualms, like, is this going to work? Like the American Girl doll meme, DNC, is this how we're winning back young men? Like, what are we,
Well, Krystal, there's Insurrection Barbie, which was a pro-Trump profile on Twitter and other places, I assume. So why not make a doll thing on the other side and let those two idiots battle it out for who is the least dumb? I say equally dumb, but some people will find someone to be less dumb. Anyways, here we go.
I love it. You've done so much work on the right-wing influencer and media, and you talked about, tenant media scan and all of these things. Can you sort of compare and contrast
Shout out to
the
Timmy
approach
Bull
from the Democratic Party, which seems to be very top-down, very,
Build it
almost
from the ground up, too.
authoritarian,
Yeah.
like, these people don't criticize us, so we're good with them, and we're only going to put Hakeem Jeffries on with someone who's going to do a softball interview, and like just sort of trying to create it from nothing, versus the Republicans, who seem to look more at like, oh, well, what's popping and what's working, and actually tolerate a little bit more sort of messiness in that ecosystem, so long as at the end of the day, it's like, you're going to vote for Donald Trump and you're going to vote for the Republicans.
She just described Tim Pool to a fucking T of his brand. That's his brand right now. Before it wasn't that, but he slowly transformed into that because once you're like with these full of shit influencers, once their guy gets into office, guy or girl gets into office, right? All of a sudden, like you realize like how dog shit that politician is. But these guys sold you that person the whole time, so they quietly start like funneling in a little bit of leaning in different directions into their conversations on their social media platforms, whether it's YouTube or Twitter or whatever the fuck, Rumble. slowly start like pushing those guys in there to have like, oh, see, look, I'm balanced. See that? Because they know that the guy in office that they cheerleaded for the whole time is dog shit. And people may maybe start realizing it's their dog shit. Whether overall or maybe on particular topics, either way, you gotta have like to maintain your survival on these platforms. You kind of have to like lean in a direction to make sure. See, look, guys, I'm balanced. See, look, I'm balanced. Unless you're the major news media, if you're like Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, like those, like PBS, like giant platforms like that, then you don't have to. You can be full of shit the whole time. You could have Bill O'Reilly on 8 o'clock every night saying, let's go to Iraq. Let's bomb the shit out of them every fucking day. Or Barack Obama's in office. All right, America, it's time to go to sleep. We've been saved. The savior is here. Obama's in office. Let's go to sleep. You can do that every day. But for these content creators that rely on likes and views and all that shit, no guaranteed publication, no contracts worth this amount of money except for advertisers and maybe like, you know, obviously the Chorus 1630 thing or the Tenant Media thing, right? But other than that, kind of got to maintain your own space and garner your own audience. Thus, you might have to like be a little bit loose. You could support Trump the whole time, like Timmy Pool did, but leave a little bit of room after he gets elected for the sake of other ideas to make it look like you were balanced the whole time. Meanwhile, everything you did for the past fucking 10 years was to make sure this guy won the fucking presidency. Clear as day, too. Clear as day. And even your arguments against the Democratic Party were bullshit. Kids licking ice cream, that's your fucking major breaking story, Timmy? Well, it is if you're full of shit. And you're trying to protect, essentially, you're a millionaire trying to protect billionaires. If that's your job, then yeah, you'll cover kids licking ice cream. They'll do that. Real story, by the way. A real story he covered.
I don't even know.
Trust me. It's like, look, the world's gone insane. The left has gone insane. They're licking ice cream and putting it back on the shelves. Yeah, that's Timmy Pool
you're talking about the contamination thing?
Yes.
That was okay.
Yeah. Amongst other topics. And that's what these guys did. Like, Krystal, like you called it, Krystal, except...
Oh, by the way, that
neighbors
is a
that do this.
crime if anybody's wondering. Yes, you
Oh,
cannot.
come on. It's kids being stupid. Stop it. It's kids being dumb.
Hold on. This is a PSA.
Oh
If
my
you
God.
mess with a consumable product in a contaminating way, you can be arrested for it. So don't do it.
It stops her with a pocket protector and a suit and tie on. Listen here, kids.
Fuck yeah, I got a suit and tie on. I'm
Don't
fucking
lick
the
ice
boss,
cream.
motherfucker.
It's fucking kids being stupid. Duh. That's what we call it. Kids being dumb. That's what we call it in real life. No need for the fucking FBI to go investigate it, right? It's like kids being dumb. Got it. Anyways, let's continue. I'm sorry for the rants, but it feels like, I don't know, it's like me trying to force the idea, like what I'm thinking, to be known. Although people might know it already or may have a better version of the idea. But I feel the need to say it anyways. Like I want my idea to be like really be heard. Like I'm really like pleading about this. But here we go.
Well, I think the fact that Olivia Juliana is in the highest paid tier of this program is kind of revealing because this is somebody that is,
who that is.
I cannot
That's
tell you,
article.
like she has no real organic audience. Like her audience is like 58-year-old consultants, you know, that are like maybe like Liz Cheney's of the world, honestly. So,
Liz Cheney's
you know,
kind of
it's very
fire,
strange.
bro.
These are not content creators, many of them that have like cultural capital.
Bernie
They're
supporter.
people who just make sort of promo videos with these politicians, and yeah, like you mentioned, I mean, they're just not resonating with like the target demographics that Democrats need.
Because they're bots.
And oh my God, I completely forgot my thought because I'm just first thing in the morning. There was one other thing I was going to say.
That's it. We're
That's all right.
comparing and contrasting with the Republicans
Listen,
and how
Taylor,
they
I do that
operate
all
and
the
how
time.
they-
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's something that Tina Nguyen, who's a really great reporter at The Verge, and she and Mia Sato, another phenomenal reporter at The Verge, both of them cover influencers. They had this great conversation on The Verge yesterday where they were talking about, like, Tina used to be part of the Republican machine. She did this, like, right-wing Koch-backed fellowship or something in college, and she wrote a book about it. And she was talking about how, like, even something like Turning Point USA compared to the Koch network, like the Koch network actually has a lot less relevance today because it was seen as this like shadowy billionaire funded thing. And like people didn't like that. Whereas Turning Point has always been very like open. They have the content creators put Turning Point in their bio. It's this big public thing. Everyone knows who's involved and it sort of invites people to join the movement. And that has been significantly more successful. And I think when you look at like the Democrats, they're in that like, first of all, they can't cede an ounce of control. They want to replicate the access sort of control ecosystem that they have with the traditional media.
And you vote, and you're on that side.
It doesn't work because this is the internet and people can build their own audiences. And they think if they withhold
what you're
access to other
describing, you
politicians,
choose
they
that
can
side.
control who's popular online. It's not
Taylor,
going to work.
That's
Can I be fair here? Like, I'll be honest here, Dubster, and it's going to insult your feelings, but seemingly, culturally, as far as the quote-unquote left-leaning or left-wing people and the younger groups of people out there, they seem to be a little bit more critical. A lot more critical than the youth of the right wing. Those guys are fucking bots, straight up.
Hold on. You can't say that after what
out
she
of
just
defense.
admitted. She is a left-leaning person admitting that the left cannot concede an ounce of control. So she supports the idea and chooses the side that will not cede an ounce of control. So she supports total control.
Okay, I'm gonna skip past that real quick here.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
I'm gonna say like younger people are watching Euphoria. Meanwhile, the right wing has what? Yellowstone.
Josh is gay.
Yellowstone.
Josh is gay.
Is what you guys have? Yellowstone. Like, good luck getting critical thinkers out of that fucking show. I'm just being out like you have more idea, like at the very least, on the surface, ideas of quote unquote freedom, right? You have more like from sexuality to politics to like these kids were already on Israel Gaza before Israel Gaza happened.
Are you talking shit about Euphoria, bro?
I'm not, but Dubster is.
No, I want you to understand something. A barista cannot exist without a cowboy.
Oh my God, they don't care, you dummy. They don't care.
They don't even understand what I'm saying right now.
They don't care.
Milk comes from cow.
I know you're gonna try to boomer them, but it's not gonna work.
What makes a barista versus a pot of coffee? Milk.
My fucking God, bro. See, Dubster's a boomer. He doesn't understand. He's a fucking boomer. It is what it is.
I understand better than the fucking dumbass left.
You can say that, but these kids are used to fucking the idea like, yo, why do we have such like harsh rules about everything? Like, why are we being so stupid about things? Like, that's what young quote unquote lefty kids are thinking about. Hey, yo, these guys did this shit. How come we're not making a big noise about that? How's that allowed? That's their logic.
Because you keep choosing left.
That's their logic, though. Are you trying to like actually navigate their logic, or are you just skipping over it? No, you're wrong. I'm right. Is that what you're doing?
No.
'Cause that shit ain't gonna go nowhere.
I just making fun of fools because we all got one vote.
Oh my God. And then someone like TPUSA, right? And we watched a video of them going over like with chapter leaders, and these kids. I didn't hear a fucking moral argument of like what's going on, like as far as what's going on in Gaza. They might view it as like those are lefties that are complaining about that stuff. We complain about the money. And it's like, meanwhile, it's like if you actually looked at what was going on, you might actually feel something and be like, yeah, this is wrong. And if you told a lefty about the money of it, they might care about that.
Yeah, I'm
But
a conservative, and all I care about on the Gaza issue is money. That's
yeah,
why I'm on the Jew side.
define yourself before you know yourself is a beautiful way to live life.
Yep, I'm
But
on the Jew side.
I expect certain people to do that though.
I'm
And
protecting the money, man.
forgive me,
Protecting the money.
yo, chat. Be real with me. Be honest with me. Call me wrong if I'm wrong on this. I mean, you should do that anyways. But I think quote unquote left leaning conditioning, like they're less likely to put up with bullshit, like simple ass bullshit, like the right wing does.
You're wrong.
No, I'm sorry, Dubster. You fell for Trump, dude. It was very transparent what he was doing, and you fell for that shit. You fell for Alex fucking Jones too. Like, good God,
Dude,
come on. At least they're.
You're admitting you're a leftist.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
No, I'm admitting you're an idiot. That's all I'm admitting.
You're
to.
admitting right
You're
now
dumb as
you're a
rocks.
leftist.
You don't get how like dumb it looks from the outside that you fell for Donald fucking Trump. It looks dumb. You should know that. And a lot of young people that skateboard and fucking have sexual freedom and all this weird shit, right? They see you guys and they're like, "Wow, how dumb are you? You fell for an infomercial."
Ideas did Trump run on? Like 30?
When they see the idea of like someone selling holy water and they're seeing people fall for it, like holy water packets being sold on infomercials, when they see that, they're like, "Wow, those guys are dumb for falling for that." That's what they see. It doesn't make them geniuses. It makes them like, I'm sorry, there's more strict rules of like how you trick someone over there than over here. It is what it is.
Okay.
Now,
how
emotionally,
how many ideas did Kamala, Biden, and Clinton all put together present as candidates for president?
I almost guarantee you that if there was young people voting for Kamala Harris,
3 times of
not gonna
Trump's
listen,
ideas,
makes him look silly. Go ahead.
We're talking like 110.
You done yet?
So, just for the amount of different ideas that were presented side to side, you got a lot more of a selection of ideas from just Trump than you did from 3 different candidates on the Democratic side.
Let's go with young people here, Dubster. How many people voted for the Democrat because they were worried about what Trump would be, versus how many young people voted for Trump worried about what Kamala or whoever Biden would be at the time? So
the fear vote
versus like pure like I love this guy, I love them, that's why I'm voting for him. How many people were like that on the Democrats versus Republicans? Be honest. Don't lie either. Be honest.
How the hell would I know?
Come on
somebody out of
read the fucking room, the vibe of it. What do you think? Your guess. Your best guess.
How the fuck?
Your best guess. It's a guess. Make your best guess.
How the fuck would anybody know how
your best
many people
guess?
How the fuck?
It starts with a G. Guess. What's your best guess?
How would anyone know who voted on someone on their fears?
Okay, I'll be very honest with you. I think there's more young people that voted for Democrats holding their nose versus Republican side voting for Trump.
Then why did Trump win twice and lose once?
Okay, I'll say that again. I think there were people that outright
make it make sense.
There's people that
make sense.
There's people that outright supported Trump. Like, no, I am making it make sense. You're not getting the fucking question, you fucking dummy. Rocks for fucking brains. There's more people that outright supported Trump than there were people that outright supported Kamala Harris that were young people. A lot more, actually, I think. And the majority of the youth vote that Kamala got were people like, Trump's bad, so I'm going to vote for Kamala. Meanwhile, the smaller amount of people that voted for Trump because Kamala was bad, I think it's a lesser amount. Does that make sense to you?
I think there was a, what was it? It was a...
Now he has guesses. Now he has it.
Record?
Let me set the table first. Got it. Go ahead.
It's not a guess. It's actual recordings that it was record-breaking for 2024 how many people crossed the aisle to vote for Trump.
I'm talking about young people voting.
That's what I'm referring to as well.
I think there was a lot more Republicans that got tricked by Trump at the younger ages than people that got tricked by Kamala Harris. I think the majority of her youth vote supported her because she's not Trump. And on a Republican side, I think there was more young people that said, like, oh, Trump's the fucking man. That's why they supported Trump, not because they were so fearful of Kamala Harris. Although that's part of it.
I couldn't tell you ever. No one ever could. Is tell you how many people.
I can't say I know that, but you're obfuscating. You're being disingenuous about this.
One.
Like, be honest about this.
What am I gonna say? Tell me what my sentence was gonna be.
I'll start with the word guess again. Were you making a guess?
What was my sentence gonna be?
There's no one that could. I'm saying your guess, your best guess. You're avoiding the question I'm asking, as usual. Do you understand the question?
I could not even fathom
Okay.
how many people would vote out of fear.
Hey, fair enough, Dubster. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. We don't know. Okay, you don't know. You're not even going to make an attempt to guess. I threw my guess out there. I think there was plenty of young people that were like, yeah, Trump's going to save the day. Then there were Democrats saying, yeah, Harris is going to save the day. I assume that's a way lower number. I think there was a lot more brainwashing on the other side.
What was it? There's like 80 million people voted for Trump. How many of them were fear-based? And then, what was it, 67 million that voted for Kamala Harris?
It's like he turns his brain off for the culture that's happening outside. He's just like not paying attention to it.
No, that's your question. That's your question. How many of them were fear-based, and then how many of them were fear-based? How the hell can I know?
It's called a guess, you dummy. I set up the scenario, but you weren't listening, apparently. Fuck, bro. You're literally a fucking brick wall. Fucking dummy.
You're literally asking me to read.
You don't think that there were young Republicans that were like, yeah, let's go, Trump?
40 million Americans' minds.
Yeah, he's obfuscating for the sake of trying to avoid the fucking question, in my humble opinion. I could be wrong, but I think he's like obfuscating for that reason. But you know what? I'll keep it moving. You don't know. I said my guess. We'll keep it moving. Here we go.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I don't know.
I thought of it like that.
Yeah, I got it.
Media, and it's ineffective, and it just doesn't work because this is the internet, and people can build their own audiences, and they think if they withhold access to enough politicians, they can control who's popular online. It's not going to work.
That's actually a great point, and I never thought of it like that.
Republicans said, because
it's true. Charlie Kirk, and he is a party hack. There's no doubt about it. Everybody knows that. But he's an out in the open party hack, and that is different
than saying it.
Like kind of hiding it, and it's almost like these Democrats.
Jordan, pause it.
It would be an upgrade.
I was about to say what I just said, but yeah, go ahead.
Were you saying that younger kids didn't vote for Trump as much as they did for Harris?
No, I'm saying the younger people that did vote for Trump believed he was going to like save the day more so than younger people that voted for Harris thought she was going to save the day. Their votes were more based on, well, Trump is bad, so let's vote Kamala to keep Trump out because we're smart people. Versus the younger Republicans, which were thinking like, oh, Trump is actually a good guy, and also let's keep Kamala at office too.
Okay, I hear you.
Do you think that's correct, or well, don't even have to say that?
I agree. No, I agree. Fair
enough. Dubster doesn't even understand what the fuck I said, so.
I understand it. You asked me to put a number to it.
Well, it said a guess.
You told me to figure out how many people have fear.
I didn't say a number. I said take a guess.
He told me to measure the amount of people in fear.
Oh my god, it's all recorded, Dubster, just so you know. So, but all right.
I know it is.
Yeah, they say that all the time. Like, yeah, I know it's recorded. Then they hear it back like, oh,
Okay, I'll guess 12. 12 people switch their vote out of fear.
12?
Your best guess without numbers. Go ahead, Dubster. Try it.
Out numbers. Then what's the question then if it's not about numbers?
There you go. There you go, YouTube. All right, let's keep playing. Here we go.
Out in the open party hack.
Sad.
And that is different than like kind of hiding it, and it's almost like these Democratic influencers. It would be an upgrade to do like we're gonna have our big chorus USA conference and everybody come
Our
and we have
1630
speakers
fund
and
conference.
yeah, like because that would take away the power of the
Not with
why
those
are you
young
hiding this?
people.
Why is this not transparent? Why is this dark money?
Yeah.
And it would
Okay, Kyle didn't go on my point, but either way, it's like if they said that out loud, they'd be like, "Yo, you guys are funded by these motherfuckers. What the fuck is that?" More likely to happen versus something like TPUSA, right? In my humble opinion, but here we go.
invite people in too.
Right.
Like there's so
Yeah.
many creators that didn't even know about this.
Right.
Totally. Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking about is like maybe part of why there's so much interest in like the top-down control on the Democratic side is because a left-wing ideology is genuinely a threat to the billionaire class in a way that a right-wing ideology is not. So there's a desperation around keeping their grip on all of the, you know, tightly controlling the Democratic Party. Whereas with the Republican Party, they know that whether it's Trump or whoever, J.D. Vance or whoever comes after, there's no real threat to capital there. And so I think that might be part of the specific billionaire funder dynamic that's going on between the two parties too.
I mean, that's almost what I said. Almost what I, not exact the same language or the way she's going about it, but it's kind of close. As in, you know, Trump's policies, Trump's stated policies, and TPUSA being backed by the Koch brothers or whatever the fuck, right? Does not look bad to the Republican Party. Even the dumb fucks like Dubster that probably complain about those same people. They still go along with it anyways. Versus, I think on the Democratic side, if they saw that, they'd be like, what the fuck is that? I think, especially with younger people. They'd be like, yo, what the fuck is this? Who are these guys? These motherfuckers, just so you know, like these young, I guess, Democratic side, lefties, whatever the fuck you want to call them, voters, these guys look up like brands that are funded, that have connections to Israel because they want to boycott them. Is that on the Republican side at all? Do you see that anywhere? I don't. I'm just saying, like, there's a different level of things happening or different versions of things happening. That's all I was trying to, like, diagnose and point out.
Democrats in Congress.
Dubster's out here trying to defend the
Oh.
team because he's, once again, rocks for brains. But go ahead. I forgot the view.
Democrats
Yeah,
in
go ahead.
Congress. Democrats in Congress for the last 12 years have voted on every single bill in unison, as in the whole party, never bending away, except for very few exceptions.
And same with the Republican Party, same thing.
No, almost every
Yeah, that's
bill,
the same thing. Same thing.
almost every bill, there is a Republican that does not vote for the bill.
Same on the Democrat side.
No,
There's
it's
a
more
few.
like
There's a few people that are
Hold on.
like, nah. Just
No,
like the
no, no,
Republican
no,
side.
no. There's a few exceptions on the Democrat side. There's almost always a Republican that doesn't agree on a bill.
Okay. I don't get where you're going with that. Are you saying like a Democrat introduced bill or a Republican introduced bill? Or are you saying like just any bill in general? There's a Republican that
Yes.
most likely will never
Any bill in
support it.
general. Yes, any bill in
Okay.
general. There's no unanimous. Unanimous.
Yeah.
On the Republican, almost always. It might just be a few, but there's almost always unanimous, except for a few exceptions,
Okay, and your
on
point.
Democrats.
Now get to your point.
for the last 12 years.
And your point.
If you understand what I'm saying, the point's already been made.
Yeah, rocks for fucking brains. Got it. Let's keep it moving. You made no point out of that, by the way, of what was being said
Okay.
in regards to any of
Okay.
this. You made no
You
fucking
think
point.
I didn't? Then you don't know what I just said.
No, you don't know what you just fucking said. You made no fucking point about it. What's your point about it?
I did make. The point is what I said.
Okay. Holy fuck, rocks for fucking brains. Here we go.
You don't get it.
Yeah,
You
I think the
don't get it.
the bigger
I'm
issue,
sorry.
which is
Yeah,
very much
you
sort
get
of
it though.
an
Got it.
extension of that, is that the Democratic Party platform is just not popular with most people. And if you look at who's popular online on the left, it's a lot of anti-establishment people. It's people who espouse more populist policies, economic populism, and they hate that. Like, they do not like that. Like, they complained for months about, you know, how the Democrats have no hype and no one likes them. Zoran Mamdani comes along. And there's party leaders that are still refusing to endorse them. Even just the Democrats finally tweeted some milquetoast thing about him like yesterday, finally, months later. So you can see this even with candidates like Zoran or I forgot the other, Omar Fatah, I think. These insurgent candidates that like actually are resonating with people. But instead of pouring gasoline on that fire and recognizing that that the sort of Democratic elite policy agenda sucks and isn't popular, they don't want to do that. They just want to control access.
Yeah,
and I'm not even saying those guys are correct about anything. It's just they know policy-wise you can't allow that. You can allow that on the Republican side. Well, they wouldn't have that in general. They wouldn't have that because Rocks for Brains here supports them. So they don't need like any type of like parody, like actual parody. They don't need that. So they can just get away with the same old establishment, let's bomb someplace people. They get away with it every year in, year out. But the Democrats seem like they have to like actually like pretend to not want to just bomb everyone, right? If they see someone who may not be doing that, they have to stifle them. They have to.
Hey, if you're brown, hit the ground.
And Dubster knows that too. Right? They have to actually say more. It's almost a demand now, right? As far as like Gaza's concerned, it's almost like a demand for Democrat politicians at this point, right? Not the ones that are already there, but people that they're checking. They're like, "Yo, are you talking about this or not?" If they find out you're not, they're like, "All right, he's done. Get him out of here." Not saying it works. I'm just saying that seems to be like a measuring stick at this point. Republicans, watch, they'll get away with it more. Do you agree with that, Dubster? Do you agree with that? That Republicans would be like, I support Israel no matter what. Do you think they'll get away with shit like that? I think they would, more likely in the Republican Party versus the Democratic Party. Right?
Yeah, dude, we're all about money. That's what you keep saying. We got to be on the Jew side.
Yeah, okay. Troll yourself away. Got it.
I'm not trolling. I'm saying like you think it.
Got it.
That's how you hear it. That's how you hear it. I get it.
All right, here we go.
They don't want to do that. They just want to control access.
Yeah, and to that point, here's another part from the article that I found very interesting. Quote, these people are expected to attend regular advocacy trainings and daily messaging check-ins. Those messaging check-ins are led by Brian Tyler Cohen on rapid response days. I honestly could think of worse people to control Democratic messaging. I actually think his Twitter feed is pretty good, if I'm being honest. But the creators also have to attend at least 2 Chorus newsroom events per month, which are events Chorus plans often with lawmakers. Now, when I read that part, I had alarm bells going off all over the place, because what that means is, hey, this week we have Hakeem Jeffries with us to help us with messaging. And there's not a single honest person on the liberal left Democratic side who likes Hakeem Jeffries. Everybody thinks he's failing. Everybody realizes this guy's not fit for the moment. He doesn't know how to fight. His ideology sucks. He's bought by AIPAC completely. You know, you look at people like Hakeem Jeffries, you look at people like Chuck Schumer, they're not popular. And so if you're doing this program and then you're inviting in Democrats who nobody knows or are doing a bad job or suck at leadership, effectively I view that as an attempt to co-opt these influencers, where it's like, well, now you were just in a messaging thing with Hakeem. Are you really going to criticize him? Are you really going to focus on that? Are you really going to try to course correct for the direction of the Democratic Party? You were just in the room with the leader, like you're on the inside now, even though you might have a TikTok with 8,000 followers and make $250 per month. It really reads to me like an attempt to co-opt the grassroots and have the top, like you said, control the messaging, as opposed to how it should work, which is sort of bottom up, what's actually popular, what actually makes people clap and enjoy it, and they're not doing that.
Well,
Okay.
Isn't that he would fucking run cover for AOC and all the like squad people and shit?
Who, Kyle?
Yeah.
Well, I've heard him criticize those guys too, but
I mean,
when it's election
As
time,
he's
yeah,
licking their
he's gonna pick them over anyone else for sure. When it's
Right.
election time, yeah, he's gonna lock in and do his fucking duty, which is
it
trash.
feels like he's making a scapegoat out of Pac-Man or whatever.
He won't even say Pac-Man's name. I didn't hear him say his name
Right.
fucking once. He said Cohen's
Yeah,
name, but he also gave him a compliment at the same time. I'm like, what are you really doing, Kyle?
I would bet he's just
Krystal's different though.
down wherever he lives. He's down voting Democrat on his ballot.
Oh yeah,
I would bet.
that's already that's already admitted from Kyle. It's Democrats are better than Republicans no matter what, so you pick them no matter what. That's Kyle's point of view. Krystal, I don't know, maybe it's the same thing, but she talks different than Kyle does. From what I've been seeing the last couple weeks of watching both of their programs, she talks different than he does. He talks like a pussy. He talks like less than a pussy. A little less pussy. So I'm just saying, just being honest. Just being honest. People were telling me that Krystal's the one influencing him to behave the way he's behaving. I don't see that right now. From what I've seen of recent, it seems like Kyle's a little bitch. That's what it smells like.
Yeah, Jordan, but he has become more like, if it's even a word, orthodox Democrat since him and Krystal have linked up.
Yeah, but when I hear her talk, it sounds different. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
she do it to sabotage him and to make herself more popular?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying when October 7th happened, she's like, yo, I can't support this fucker anymore. I gotta go endorse Jill Stein. Then he endorsed Jill Stein. Then when Kamala took over for Biden, she left Jill Stein and went back to advocate for Kamala. And he did the same. So I'm just saying, like, rhetoric wise, sure, she sounds better, but they end up at the same conclusion anyways. So in a way, she's in my opinion, she's more harmful than he is because he's transparently a cuck. She's like
you're saying she holds the leash. That's what you're saying.
I believe so. But at the same time, I'm not discounting what Jordan's saying. Like, yeah, he does sound like cringe on certain topics. She sounds more sensible, more like she's more in tune with what people are feeling.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I almost think that's worse because then she's a sheep herder essentially. She is a sheep herder, 100%.
Okay. What? Personally, I don't know. The questions are always please throw the questions out there about either any one of these people's character.
All three of these guys.
Please throw that out there. But once again, my personal experience, which is like when I came back to politics, okay, I've probably seen a little bit more Kyle than Krystal, but as of recent, I've been seeing more Krystal, and she says things that this motherfucker doesn't say.
I'll just saying
that real quick. Kyle makes a point. Kyle makes a point to shovel you towards the Democratic Party. I haven't heard her say that. And maybe she has at some point.
You, dude.
Maybe she has.
I'm telling you, man.
I say fair enough.
That whole thing where it's fucked up to say now because she does advocate a lot for Gaza, but that whole fucking leaving the Democratic Party for like what's that shit? A conscience for having a conscience and endorsing Jill Stein and then reversing that when they switch out Biden for that shit is like almost negating what she's doing in that advocacy.
That smells of pure strategy.
I'm telling you, bro, that shit is crazy. It is strategy. She's like she went through a phase. I mean, an emotional phase. Where like, yo, I just can't come around to supporting these guys. committing a genocide. And then like what Kamala comes in, there's no genocide no more. Like she started being a little more quiet about that and being a lot more boisterous about, well, the Dems have a chance now. Like she got wrapped into that shit, and I'm like, dude, what about that whole moral argument you made of why I can't support this party? Like I don't like that. Like that's a fucking betrayal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In my opinion.
If that happened, look,
and Kyle followed her. Kyle followed her to Jill Stein. Kyle followed her to Kamala Harris. Let's be honest. He's his own man on paper. He says his own things, but they end up aligning on these things. In the way Krystal's taking the lead. Let's be honest. Anyone can see that. She's taking the lead. He's following it.
I say fair enough. And when I say this, it's not me downplaying what you're saying. I personally didn't see it, but I don't know Anthony. Hold on. Well, I don't know Anthony to like on shit like this to bullshit me. I'll say that. I'll say, but I haven't seen it personally myself. And I like looking like when I look for myself and I see certain like mannerisms, like I use my own intuition about these things when I see certain things. But that idea alone of, oh, fuck Biden, I'm going with Jill Stein. Oh, Kamala's running? All right, I'm coming back. That alone, I can't find a reason why that would make sense. Morally. It makes no sense. It makes sense strategically, right? Where it's like, oh, Kamala's young, she's more vibrant. Thus, we can vote for her. That sounds like strategy. It sounds like I don't like strategy. I like strategical thinking motherfuckers like that in regards to people's lives, which is what I've blatantly seen Kyle do, and I wouldn't be surprised by Krystal doing that either. Honestly, I'm just saying, as of late, what I've seen, Kyle sounds like a mark, and Krystal sounds like a lesser of a mark. But either way, it's like, yeah, I'm not endorsing either one of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, track record for track record. I like Kyle's track record, but I used to like it.
Yeah.
Better than hers.
I can't go there.
I got you.
Go there.
I'm telling you, just on actions alone. On actions alone, I like where Kyle. I feel a lot more comfortable with Kyle. Not now. Kyle sounds like he's lost in the sauce, man. He's swimming head first in that pool. I feel him. I do the same thing.
Anthony, I hear you. Okay, I respect your intuition, but if you're going with like, well, okay, the pussy's too good, so that's why Kyle's doing what he's doing. That's not good enough.
I say that touchy feely, but it's like I just got to it's like you saying the nipple ring shit. It's like man. But no, I think rhetoric wise, she's influencing him for the worse, and he's trying to impress her with his stupidity on the topic.
I say fair enough, but I mean,
He was more open-minded, even though he was still a sheep herder. I feel like he was more open-minded than he is now.
Nah, okay. I have less of a, book of evidence for me personally on Krystal, but I've watched Kyle for a decent amount of years now, like on and off, not consistently, but just like here and there, and then here and there, and then here and there, like over a period of time. And I'm like, he ain't got it, man. I'm sorry. I remember him back in the day, bro. He ain't there, bro.
Yeah,
he's been like a little wimp boy the whole time, man. Krystal or not, he's been a wimp boy. No, I don't think he's regressed. I think he's been a wimp boy the whole time. I call him man of the times way back when. Now the things I yell about him right now, it's based on like, I heard you say this before, so why are you doing this? That's where that basis comes from. But years ago, I'm like, this guy's as fluid as the fucking ocean. A wave can move him left or right. It doesn't matter. It can move him all around the place. He's a man of the fucking times. He's a victim of the time he lives in. And I saw that way back when he's yelling at people like, yo, shut the fuck up and let Bernie run.
Always there, yes.
Yo, Mike Gravel, shut the fuck up about 9/11, bro. Shut up.
He just tried to
Yo, Debbie, get the fuck out of the way. It's like, I smelt that a while ago.
He is 100% a strategist.
Yeah. And he sounds like the same whipping boy to this very day. I'm sorry. Krystal, once again, Krystal I have a smaller sample size of. I remember back in the day with you know Bernie and Tulsi, and then things go downhill, and maybe I didn't follow her too much after that, but whatever. I'm not looking for like fireworks from her, but like the simple statements I've heard her say as of recent just have outflanked everything I've ever heard from Kyle. It's outflanked them straight up in words, in rhetoric, not in point or demeanor or whatever the fuck or intention. Just in rhetoric alone has outflanked Kyle. I've never heard him even ask questions like this before to someone else.
She's astute. She's very astute. It's just, but the end results are not. I mean,
fair enough.
I don't know, man.
But I'm like, the words she said, this fool has never said. I've never heard him even utter those words before. Things like that. That's why I'm like, huh, interesting. Interesting.
I don't know, yeah, because she makes arguments based on like, in the best way she can, right or wrong, and even common sense. She says a lot of dumb guy logic shit, but then she turns in the strategy mode, and I'm like, that's fucking weird, because you're like going outside of the paper cutter political shit on certain things. And then you just to bring us all right back. The fucking the what's that shit called? What's the horse thing? The horseshoe fucking theory.
What? Yeah, carrot.
The horseshoe theory. You start at one point, way over there, and then you bring me right back to where you started.
But okay, once again, if I take just words as words, I saw her confront someone and ask it, like, put it in a moral scenario, which is what I want to hear in words, at least. Or, well, I want it in more than words, but I'm saying I've heard her go there in words, but not Kyle.
Fair enough. I can't say no. I can't say nothing
now,
to that.
Maybe her end result is like, well, okay, we need to support the Democratic Party right now because these other guys are so bad. Come join us over here. But Kyle's already doing that without the moral part. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he's trash and she's not. I hear you, man. On all levels, I hear you, man.
Now, maybe she's more savvy for what the people want to hear, or maybe what I want to hear. Maybe she's more savvy that direction. But okay, like I'm not moved by it either way. Like,
well,
okay.
that's what I feel like. There's a lot of people like that are like, yo, like, less initiated than you. They're like, yo, I'm not like, yo. At the end of the day, you talk a good game, and then look where you're leading, motherfuckers. Or you're advocating. Look where your advocacy leads to creating a problem you're bitching about, like openly.
Yeah.
Eyes wide open. Yeah, let's go over for Kamal. Like, why?
I can't answer that question, but I can make some guesses for sure. I can make some big guesses for sure. Both some devious, some dumb person, woman of the times shit. I can make a whole bunch of arguments for that one. Either way, it's like you're not good enough. Either way, or our sugar, not good enough. But all right. It's just frustrating with guys. It's just frustrating. Like, damn, you're still in elementary school, Bren. Fucking dummy.
Oh, Kyle?
Yes. Still in elementary school. And yes, it wasn't for gossip that I was begging for him to talk about David Pakman. It wasn't for gossip. It's not for a headline. It's because it's the principle of the fucking thing. The idea of it's like, yo. Once again, I went through his channel of him talking about David Pakman, and it was all like not all of it, but well, maybe even all of it was either defense or support for David Pakman. And now here's David Pakman caught red-handed. I heard Taylor and Krystal talking about him, but Kyle's like didn't say anything about the guy.
Not saying this matters, but they used to be affiliated through TYT.
I figured, yes, I'm aware of that as well. Their little like network thing, and Jimmy Dore's there too, right? Yes, I get that, but when it comes down to like something's a problem, it doesn't matter if it's your friend, your best friend, your brother, whatever, your enemy. It should like the point is to point out something that people are not like recognizing. And this is his version of going over that story. And something tells me it might be fucking Krystal driven again. Remember, this is Kyle's channel. This is secular talk, right?
No, this is their channel together.
Secular talk. This is his channel.
Oh, I thought it was Kyle. Oh, well, he reposted this.
Yes.
They have a channel.
Yes. He reposted it.
Oh,
Got it.
Okay.
But it's like, you on your own. You didn't. Come on, man. And even then, he's still praising Brian Tyler Cohen in the middle of all this, too?
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I like his tweets. Let's check this. Sorry, let's look at that. Fuck it. Sorry, different video. Let's look at this. Hey, we're already here 2 hours. Might as well make it a couple more minutes. Okay. There we go. Let's look at his feed. Okay. Apo50. Co-founder of Midas Touch. Okay. Gen Z en route to discover why millennials are a D plus 1 million demographic. Gives employment rates. Okay. Typical, once again, typical Democratic Party shit. Maybe Kyle likes that. When the VPN doesn't work on Covenant Eyes. Okay. There's not been one single Republican administration in my lifetime that's created more jobs than a Democratic administration since I've been alive. These are brilliant tweets, Kyle, by the way. Let's keep going. Senator Bill Cassidy isn't just a U.S. senator, he's a doctor. He violated the Hippocratic Oath when he voted to allow someone like RFK Jr. to take a wrecking ball to the CDC. He's doing real good, Kyle. New. Trump's nominee to run the Bureau of Labor Statistics ran an anonymous Twitter account filled with sexually degrading attacks on Kamala Harris, anti-gay slurs, and far-right conspiracy theories. Thanks, Kyle. Okay. Another miserable jobs report. Only 22,000 jobs added. Well below expectations of 75,000. Employment rates rise to 4.3%. Usually higher than that, right? Hope Trump's new BLS statistician didn't get too comfortable. Wow, what a tweet. Let them taunt. Wow, what a tweet. Sean Duffy, that's not even him. Okay, let's keep going. I'll skip his retweets. Pretty damning community note. Representative Don Bacon. Okay. Off the Trump effect again. Eddie Hassan. Okay. Red Zone is literally the one thing I look forward to more than anything else, and ESPN found a way to undermine that. What a great tweet. Wow, groundbreaking. Ground fucking breaking. I cannot convey the level of embarrassment I would have if I was a Trump supporter. So Newsom didn't allow the... Okay, Gavin Newsom. Okay. Thanks, Kyle. Imagine buying this guy's hat. Dear God. Wow, imagine buying this guy's hat. What a statement. Okay, dear God, this community note. I know this sounds crazy. I should know something about it. Okay, where's his shit? I wonder if Kyle took a deal on the side. That'd be crazy, right? JFR radio show. JF radio show. Nobody wants to be a cop in DC. They were abused. They were spit on. When you say they were abused and spit on, I'm assuming you're talking about January 6th, correct? These are moments where I wish I had my camera on to be like, yo, for real? I assume you're talking about January 6th. Yo, Kyle. Yeah. Hey, Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Kyle. Yo, Kyle. What about his Twitter? What about his Twitter feed? What about it?
Yo, Kyle.
Yo, Kyle.
Shut up. Shut up, guys. Stupid Jim.
I'm sure Kyle will be like, no, you missed the good tweets. Or wait, they're down below. You missed the good ones. Right, Kyle? Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that's my video. I'm done.
Stupid
Kyle's
shit.
fucking pathetic to me, bro. I keep it a buck. Kind of sad. But it is what it is. There's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think in the comment section. All comments are welcome. I'm sure Kyle fans will be here to fall upon the sword for Kyle's honor. And his nipple rings will go home to Krystal every night. His nipples will be twisted every night in honor of you. I promise. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. All of it is very much appreciated. Also, check out the Discord link if you want to join that and talk some shit. Maybe get wrecked. Maybe, I don't know, anything. Fall in love, watch a movie, listen to music, find yourself, discover the soul, drink some muscle milk. Whatever you're into, man, you can pull it off here. Is that muscle? It's muscle milk, right?
Chill.
Oh wait, is that muscle milk in the background right here? It's muscle milk, right?
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is. Look at that label, Anthony.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Behind the ice, it's muscle
I
milk.
didn't see it. Yeah, you got good eyes. I didn't even see that shit. You got good eyes.
Nah, I got a big monitor. That's what I got. Pause. It's muscle milk, bro.
Yeah, on my phone, my little ass phone. No way I can see that shit.
Krystal gives one tilt on those nipple rings, bro. She fills a whole bottle of muscle milk up.
Gracious. Holy fuck.
But please talk about whatever you want in my Discord. And with all that said, please give this video a thumbs down.